No matter what age your child is, you want the best for their future. What do they want to do after graduation? What career path do they want to take? These questions can be overwhelming. That's why you should ask them this question. What's your E? Seminole County Public Schools ePathway program is designed for your student to choose their own path in life from as many options as we can offer. Whether they're looking to enlist, enroll, or be employed, we're excited to help you and your child make it happen. Want them to enroll in a college or university? We'll help you find the best school for them to continue their education. Learn about grants and programs to help your child obtain their degree at a pace and a cost that works for you both. Are they looking to go straight into employment? Discover a variety of trades and skills that will propel their future. They can learn aviation maintenance, automotive repair, culinary arts, and more to hone their talents in growing industries. Is your child interested in enlistment? We'll help them find the right path of service, whether it's military, law enforcement, fire response, or EMS. They can serve the community while learning skills that will last a lifetime. What's your E? Explore options with ePathways by visiting us online at the link below.
What inspired me to get into engineering was Lego. So I started as a kid, as most kids do, working with Legos and just kind of doing your own thing, building the Lego sets, and I would often take apart my Lego sets, mix them together, and build something completely new. Then in about 4th grade, I was introduced to Lego robotics, which is where you have a actual robot that you could program, and you start with this brick, and that would feed information to Lego motors, and it would all communicate as a system, and you could do a lot of really cool robotic tasks with that. And that was really the start of me looking into engineering. The engineering I'm looking to pursue at first is mechanical engineering. This is what I'm going to go to UCF for, and this is going to be the start of my career. A mechanical engineer can really do anything. They work with a lot of thermodynamics and a lot of vibrations and really just anything that moves. So a lot of fields use mechanical engineering. I wanted to go past that and specialize into biomedical engineering, which is more along the lines of surgical robotics and medical machinery. I wanted to develop surgical robots, and with that I need to know exactly how the human body functions and how it functions with robotic systems. Essentially, I'll be able to design a system where a person will be able to communicate with a motor and hopefully improve their quality of life, whether this be through a surgical robot that a doctor is controlling, or whether it's prosthetic that's motorized.
I taught Josh his freshman year. He was so good with that inventor material. He picked up on it very quickly. He was ready to jump in and help other students, which I really, really appreciated. And he has carried those characteristics with him as he has moved through the program. And now with his journey moving forward in bioengineering, I can't wait to see what he's going to make with his knee brace and the orthotics that he's trying to produce.
The current prosthetic I'm looking at developing is a load-bearing knee brace in which I'm going to take a motor or servo and attach that to the knee, which will enable a person to be able to push past what their muscles currently are able to do, whether that be because of muscle fatigue or osteoarthritis in the kneecap where they're not able to put a lot of pressure on their knee. Current knee braces really only work when walking. There's still a lot of pain when there's extra forces being applied to the knee, such as walking upstairs or standing up from sitting down, things you and I normally don't think about. But for someone that has severe arthritis in their knee, this is hugely painful.
The strongest advantages of project-based learning, that hands-on experience that allows you to manipulate that material, really solidifies in the brain exactly how those things work.
The thing I would say about this program where it exceeds the most is the more you use it, the more it'll benefit you.
529.
I had 5:30. Right. All right, good evening. I'd like to call to order the December 12th school board meeting. Our invocation, excuse me, today, member Garrick was able to get an invocation from Markham Woods Middle School. We appreciate that. So Markham Woods Middle School chorus will perform and then lead us in the pledge. I'm going to have Miss Antman go ahead and introduce your wonderful chorus. Thank you.
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Beeman. My name is Leslie Antman. I am the proud choral director at Markham Woods Middle School in Lake Mary. With us today are the Black and Silver Singers, our advanced choral group at Markham. They actually just finished their winter concert last night, so we thought it would be a good idea for us to come and share some winter cheer with all of you. Go ahead and come out, Black and Silver. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you would all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wow. You all were fabulous. Wishing you all a wonderful holiday break. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. And try not to pick up your cell phones for at least one day, please. I'm going to make a challenge for everybody to do that. Or at least not go on social media. They were amazing. So many talented young women and young gentlemen. Thank you, Member Garrick, for inviting them. That was a really nice treat. So roll call order is tonight will be Member Davis, Member Kraus, Member Garrick. I'm sorry, I just took mine away. That's why. Member Kraus, Member Pennick, Member Davis, Member Garrick, and myself. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, at this time, do we have any acknowledgements from anybody? I see none. All right. Any agenda modifications, Superintendent? Do you have any modifications?
Yes, the addendum for good cause is marked on our electronic agenda by a green flag named addendum item. And board members, I am pulling 6Y, Wyndham Grant Agreement, from tonight's agenda.
Thank you. All right, board members, and roll call order. If
No
you-
modifications, Chair.
All right, thank you, Vice Chair Kraus. Member Pennick,
No modifications.
thank you. Member Davis,
No modifications.
thank you. Member Garrick,
Yes, I would like to pull item 6D for separate consideration. 6D.
6D for separate consideration. 6D for separate consideration. Thank you. All right. Is there a motion to approve the agenda outline?
Motion.
Second?
All right. Member Pennick, first. Second, Member Garrick. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. Motion passes unanimously. Superintendent, do we have any presentations today?
Yes, we do. We have a number of presentations tonight. We will start with our Veteran of the Month, our teacher, Ms. Rodriguez, who will be introduced by Principal Joe Avellino.
Wonderful.
Good evening. Leishla Soler Rodriguez graduated from the Marine Corps Recruiting Depot, Paris Island, South Carolina on December 2nd, 2011. She graduated as a private first class and went on to complete Marine combat training in North Carolina. Upon completion of her training, she was assigned to Combat Logistic Regiment 35 and Combat Logistic Company 36 in Japan. She spent over 2 years overseas where she assisted in humanitarian support, field operations, and logistical support. She finished her active duty service in Camp Pendleton, California, and went on to serve in the Marine Corps Reserve Unit in Orlando, where she spent 8 years of service as a sergeant. She went on to raise her son, go to school, and continue to accomplish many things. After graduating from University of Central Florida, go Knights, she began working as a substitute teacher for Seminole County Public Schools and got her teaching certificate, and now is working at the best elementary school, Forest City Elementary, as an ESE teacher. She has an 8-year-old son. She has an 8-year-old son who has been the driving force in pushing her forward even through the tough times. Ms. Soler, congratulations and thank you for your service to our country.
Good evening, Superintendent and school board members. I am here to spread some holiday cheer with a big thank you to Public Supermarket Charities. Their customers donated at a cash register campaign over $57,000 for school supplies for our Tools for Seminole Schools program. So during a time period, people could donate at the cash register. I'm sure many of you saw that, and then it went right back to Seminole County. And that's really important because public supports not only making sure students have what they need, but all of our teachers. And you can imagine with several hundred new teachers hired every year, they can come into the store, and thanks to companies like Publix, they can get supplies for their students. They can also get their staplers, their books for their classroom libraries, their paper for their printers, everything they need to be ready to start the school year. So thank you, Publix. I would like to welcome Max Murray, store manager, and Kelly Wilson, district manager from Publix. Max is also a volunteer on one of our committees, so we really appreciate him. Thank you, Publix, for making sure our students have the supplies that they need to be successful.
All right, good evening, Superintendent Beeman and board members. This evening we have our annual, or 3 times a year, recognition of some outstanding athletes, and we have some ROTC students that we're going to introduce tonight that are at the top of their game, and we're going to recognize them for winning state championships or the runners-up tonight. So at this time, I'd like to start out by recognizing the Husky Battalion JROTC Raider team for winning the state championship at the state Raider competition just recently in December. So come on up, congratulations. This team demonstrated strength, stamina, and teamwork throughout the competition and placed in the top 3 levels of all 5 events, including first place in the fitness challenge and the fitness test, second place in the 1-rope bridge and cross-country rescue, and third place in the 5K run, earning them first place overall in the all-male division out of 28 high schools who qualified for the competition, crowning them state champions. Congratulations. And as they get their camera ready set up, I'll just introduce you the names of the students and captains and teachers that are up here. We have Team Captain Andrew Lane, Co-Captain John Sheldon, Samuel Schultz, Edwin Torres Santiago, Logan Krieg-Sauer, Connor Gillum, Angel Salva, Tyler Vorer, Jason Lane, Tyler Mallinson, Nathan Garrison, and Austin Forsyth. Also with him this evening here celebrating is the Husky JROTC instructors Major Johnson and Master Sergeant Weber, as well as their principal, Mr. Rob Frasca. Congratulations again as they take their beautiful photo. All right, and next up, like to recognize for the third year in a row, 3 years in a row, the FHSAA Girls Golf State Champions, Lake Mary High School. So yes, it was a three-peat in 2023 for the girls team at Lake Mary High School. This Lady Rams team won the FHSAA 3A State Championship. Wow, it's loud. 3A State Championship for the third consecutive season and the 10th time in school history. Can you even hear it? So as they're taking their pictures here, I want to share with you that this is the third consecutive season and the 10th time in school history that they have won the state championship. Season started off well with a win at the Ensworth High School Golf Invitational in Nashville, Tennessee. As they progressed through their schedule, they continued outstanding play, winning the Seminole Athletic Conference, the Qdoba Challenge Championship, the 3A District 4 Championship, and the 3A Region 1 Championship, and finally, of course, the state championship for 3A. Along the way, these young ladies set a new school record for a team low score with a round of a 9 under par. Gosh, I could only dream of that. Par 279 at the 3A Regional Championship. In all, the team earned and entered 8 tournaments in 2023 against the best teams in the South and won 6 of 8 of those championships. That level of consistent excellence has made them special and worthy of this recognition. Also here tonight is the principal. She comes up, Dr. Mickey Reynolds, as well as the coach, Dennis Burchill. All right, next up, we have an individual we'd like to recognize for girls diving. We actually have 2 for girls diving tonight. From the state champion, the 3A classification from Winter Springs High School, let's welcome Hadley Futch. Hadley Futch competed in an outstanding junior season, capturing conference, district, region, and state championships in diving. With 1 more high school season remaining, she is already committed to continue her education and athletic career, listen to this, at the United States Military Academy at West Point. And she'll be making us proud as she joins her sister, Brooke, who is a member of the Black Knights swimming and diving team. She's an outstanding student athlete, and we are proud to recognize her this evening as for winning the state championship. Dad, you're allowed. right, so next up, we move into the state champion for the FHSAA academic team champion from Lake Brantley High School, the girls volleyball team, which got a couple members here. Come on up. So winning a district championship and reaching the regional semifinal is quite a remarkable athletic achievement. Ending the season with a 20-9 record is no small feat and speaks volumes about the team's skill and determination. But not only did this team earn high honors with their athletic abilities, they also achieved an accomplishment that, as an educational institution, makes us even more proud. This team balanced the busy life of playing for their varsity team while finding the time to study and achieve academic success. And I know the rest of the team is studying tonight, right? That's where they're home. Earning the title of the FHSAA Academic Team Champions and earning the highest GPA of all 7A volleyball teams in Florida. This is a testament of their commitment not only to the court but also to the classroom. We are proud of you and welcome here tonight Principal Brian Blazewitz and coach of the volleyball team, Mr. Alan Knight. Congratulations, guys. All right, this next individual was not able to join us tonight, but he is the boys diving state runner-up for the 4A classification from Haggerty High School, Noah Stasic. Congratulations to him. Again, he wasn't able to join us this evening as he was traveling to represent Florida with the AAU national team at the 2023 Berlin Cup in Germany. And this season, Noah won the Seminole Athletic Conference Championship, the FHSAA District Championship, the FHSAA Regional Championship, and ultimately finished as the FHSAA State Runner-Up for diving. So congratulations to Noah. And our last recognition tonight is from the boys cross-country State Runner-Up from Haggerty High School. Let's welcome Jonathan Leone. As a member of the cross-country program at Haggerty High School, Jonathan competed in 10 races this season with 6 wins and 3 second-place finishes. In the championship season, he earned the Seminole Athletic Conference Championship, the FHSAA District Championship, and placed second at the regional and state finals. His personal best time, this makes me tired thinking about it, of 14 minutes and 56 seconds for a 5K is not only the school record at Haggerty High School, but also the fastest time ever recorded by a high school athlete between both of the high schools in the Oviedo area, dating back to the 1960s. Joining him tonight is Mr. Rob Frasco, the principal of Haggerty High School, as well as Coach Jay Getty, who serves as the school's athletic director and our athletic director liaison for Seminole County Public Schools. Congratulations to you, Jonathan. We are proud of you.
Happy holidays for the ones that are leaving. Stay safe.
Okay. Board members, we will have 2 presentations tonight for FOSA, and the first one will be introduced by our very own Amy Elwood, Assistant Superintendent of ESSS.
Good evening, Superintendent and school board members. As you know, to prepare students for academic success each day, we have to have a safe learning environment in which they can thrive. And one of the teams in our district that helps ensure the physical well-being of our students each day is our health services team. So they are led by our health services coordinator, Michael Weiderman, and our school board nurse lead, Nicole Johnson, who are with us this evening. They lead an amazing team of nurses who are innovating health education in our district to ensure that our staff are fully prepared to meet the unique medical needs of our students each and every day. So I'd like to bring them up here to update you on some of these innovative practices that they are implementing across our district each day.
Thank you, Ms. Elwood. Good evening, board members and Superintendent Beeman. It is an honor to be up here today serving as the Health Services Coordinator for Seminole County Public Schools. Alongside me this evening is Ms. Nikki Johnson, lead school board nurse and second in command of the Health Services Division for the school district. We're very thankful for this opportunity to present to you all to showcase one of the great initiatives our division launched this school year. With the support of our senior leadership team, we rolled out a mandatory mass health training program to better prepare school-based staff to respond to medical emergencies and increase overall emergency preparedness on our school campuses across the entire district. Before we dive deep into the actual program itself, I would like to provide a broad overview regarding how our school health program is currently structured here in Seminole County. We have a total of 25 registered nurses known as school board nurses who provide oversight to the health operation at 2 to 3 schools at a given time. These registered nurses not only provide training to unlicensed clinic personnel, but they also provide medical support and student study meetings and ensure every student has their medical needs met while attending school in our district. Furthermore, we have a total of 10 licensed practical nurses and 2 certified nursing assistants who provide day-to-day care in our 4 medical classrooms and to some of our most medically fragile students in an above staffing capacity. Altogether, the Health Services Division is comprised of 37 hardworking individuals who are relentless in their efforts to ensure medical needs are never a barrier to a student receiving the proper education that they deserve. In addition to our team members, every school campus has a designated clinic assistant or unlicensed assistive personnel who works in accordance with the Florida Nurse Practice Act. These individuals manage the day-to-day care as directed by the RN once they have completed the appropriate training. Here's a current breakdown of some important data for the entire district as a whole. We have a total of 944 students who have severe life-threatening allergies requiring either epinephrine or Benadryl on campus. A total of 1,959 students who have asthma requiring an inhaler or other breathing treatment to be available on campus as well. 208 students who have either type 1 or type 2 diabetes requiring management at school. Over 450 students reported to have either epilepsy or a seizure disorder. Altogether, this has led to a total of 237,605 clinic visits conducted for the 22-23 school year. In addition, we had a total of 337 total EMS calls last year alone, and 169 of those calls resulted in a student being transported. So as you can see, the quantity within the data reflects the need to better prepare school-based staff to enhance their skill set and to better promote education regarding identifying the early stages of these major medical conditions to ensure we escalate care in a timely fashion. It is found that the earlier we recognize the student's illness, the sooner we can actually have them return to school to receive instruction. We saw a need and swiftly took action to ensure we built a sustainable solution that not only benefited our students, but staff alike. With that said, we launched a mandatory medical emergency preparedness training across the entire district that staff took part in to ensure they had not only the knowledge needed to provide to have a safe and healthy year. This training lasted 1 hour in length and typically occurred on Wednesday afternoons during the school's professional development time block. We will cover the different modalities of training within the next couple of slides. However, it is important to note that this initiative was completed by our very small team of 25 school board nurses. Overall, we targeted our training approach to fulfill 3 objectives set forth from the very beginning. To increase preparedness for potential medical emergencies on campus. This includes implementation of all of our district protocols set forth by Health Services. To review and how to access pertinent student health information and scoured for the designated appropriate individuals. And increase awareness regarding how to find our SCPS medication policies. And lastly, enable staff members to gain access to complete their annual checklist for competencies of skills related to general medication administration, inhaler use, and EpiPen use. This empowered the school-based staff to not only be better prepared, but be proactive for when the students are on field trips and other events outside of the typical school setting. So I would now like to turn it over to Ms. Johnson to give us further detail regarding the actual training content and the data for completion.
Good evening. Thank you for having us. Okay, so the 1 hour long training included a variety of topics prevalent in the data that he mentioned. Asthma is introduced, including potential triggers and symptoms that the student may present with in the classroom setting, as well as proper use of a student's rescue inhaler. Recognizing anaphylaxis, knowing the simple acronyms such as FAST, which stands for face, airway, stomach, and total body, is critical knowledge in determining if the need for a student's epinephrine autoinjector is needed. Reviewing seizure types and how to respond to someone having a seizure. It's truly a team effort to provide safety and privacy while calling for additional help from the school clinic and EMS. This topic supports the recent education requirements set forth by the Florida State Statute 1006.0626 that dictate school personnel who have regular contact with these students receive timely and efficient training to ensure that safety is kept at all times. We also review proper response of a conscious choking victim by demonstrating how to perform the Heimlich maneuver. With each of these topics just named, we also give everyone hands-on practice to ensure staff are comfortable performing these interventions using training equipment. Opioids and overdose response are also covered. Although we're very fortunate here at SCPS to have no overdoses on campus resulting in the need of Narcan, we readily increased awareness that every SRO and SRD on each campus carries Narcan and is trained to administer if needed. We also included a how to help your clinic section. As you saw from the data, we had over 237,000 clinic visits last year alone. Increasing awareness on how staff members can help their clinic mitigates learning loss and gets healthy students back into the classrooms. We geared this training content towards our classroom teachers and other school staff, but as you can see, it does not just apply to our school district. Most of these skills learned can be applied if responding to an emergency of a loved one or an individual out in our community. A simple notion such as calling EMS quickly can mitigate many health barriers in the long run. This training was launched in 2 modalities this year. This year, the principal had the option, do I need to click it? I'm sorry. Sorry about that. The principal had the option to schedule our emergency medical preparedness training in person or facilitate through the online platform Safe Schools. For the in-person method, this training was conducted for 1 hour during the PLC time on Wednesday afternoons. Training was split up into a 2-part process. The first part included a 40-minute lecture-style segment to review the content and lay the foundation for the course. The second part gave staff a 20-minute opportunity for those hands-on practices with the skills that they had just learned about. Basic skills included how to properly administer an EpiPen, perform the Heimlich maneuver, and even practice CPR on our feedback mannequins. These in-person sessions were facilitated and managed by, like he said, our school board nurses, and that was usually a team of 3 to 4. For the online method, staff members had the opportunity to complete the self-paced video-based course containing the same information that was facilitated in our in-person sessions. Additionally, it included a knowledge check evaluation and required a completion of the related skills competency checklists. Although the in-person training was preferred by many, this online modality gave us the opportunity to educate staff members at the schools that we normally do not get to interact with. Since the rollout of this program, there has been a total of 51 sites or departments taking part in the in-person training. To date, a total of 32 elementary schools opted for the in-person, and this resulted in over 2,000 employees being trained in just a matter of several weeks. Although the online method was more common in our secondary schools, we still had 11 campuses take part in this in-person. Although altogether, this resulted in 774 more employees receiving this education. And lastly, we facilitated 8 additional training sessions for several key departments, including Red Apple Dining, Kid Zone, and even our transportation team. And most recently, we just provided this in-person training to our Early Learning Center in Sanford. As a result, a total of 3,280 individuals are now trained and readily available to render emergency care to our students in need. In addition to the 3,280 employees captured during the in-person training, we are also able to capture an additional 1,007 members who completed the online format. This includes those schools that were unable to host an in-person training or for any staff that were absent during the scheduled training at their school. It was important for us to step back and truly recognize how far we've come. In a data comparison, we had a total of 1,440 staff members trained across the entire district last year alone. In comparison, we now have 4,287 total staff members ready, willing, and able to respond to medical emergencies that may occur on our campuses. This is nearly triple the number from the previous year. Included in this slide are several pictures taken during our in-person sessions. As you can see, Miss Kelly Mitchell on the bottom left there, our school principal at Walker Elementary, even took time to practice practice performing the Heimlich maneuver. In addition to the mass health training program, the Health Services Division provides many more opportunities with training within the district. Once a month, we offer a Heart Saver First Aid CPR AED course led by our very own school board nurse BLS instructors. SCPS serves as an ancillary training center in conjunction with Advent Health and the American Heart Association. Individuals who complete this course walk away with a CPR First Aid certification from AHA that's valid for 2 years. In accordance with recently implemented Florida legislation, Health Services also provided support to Lake Mary High School last spring by offering a hands-only CPR course to both the 9th and 11th grade students. In a matter of 2 days, we provided education to approximately 1,300 students on the proper steps to performing a hands-only CPR. Last month, 2 of our very own school board nurses, Miss Suzanne Leibkuchler and Miss Christy Boone, led the charge and conducted a 2-day Heimlich maneuver seminar for students at Eastbrook Elementary School. This was based off the notion that students play an integral part in increasing one's own health. Health Services also provided numerous modified health trainings to many departments and buildings across the district. This included a modified training for selected individuals housed right here at the Educational Support Center. In addition, we facilitated 2 trainings for our high school fine arts departments to ensure they're equipped and to provide first aid and emergency care during outside the normal school day. Participants included band directors, dance coaches, JROTC instructors, and even our color guard personnel. Although we're typically the ones providing the trainings to others, it's also important for us to keep up our skill set as well. This year, we debuted our very own in-house simulation training center located at the Early Learning Center in Sanford. In addition, we have launched frequent internal emergency simulation training drills, typically occurring during our monthly staff meetings to ensure we're keeping up with best practices. We've also partnered with local hospital organizations to continue our professional growth. During the Best Summer Ever program this year, we had several presenters from Nemours Children's Hospital and the Department of Health Seminole come on site to build upon our skill set and increase our knowledge regarding pertinent medical information. This gives us the ability to keep our skills up and enable us to become better medical professionals.
So overall, due to the launch of the mass health training program in our district and several of our other initiatives, we are now better equipped to care for the increasing number of medical emergencies that occur on our campuses. We truly may not know it now, but we are teaching a skill that can save someone's life tomorrow. I want to thank Ms. Elwood, Superintendent Beeman, and the board members for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Very impressive. Anybody have any questions?
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Thank you so much for everything you all do.
Thank you all.
Board members, I think Ms. Thompson is coming up to the mic there to talk about your A-rated academically high-performing school district and the informational grades for both the district and the schools that came in yesterday.
Good evening, Ms. Beeman and board members. On Monday, December the 11th, the Florida Department of Education released the informational school grades for the 22-23 school year. These informational grades are provided as a result of the state's transition from the Florida Standards Assessment, or FSA, to the Florida Assessment of Student Thinking, FAST, that took place in the spring of 23. As Ms. Beeman stated, we are once again, as Seminole County Public Schools is once again an A-rated school district. The informational grades are based upon the results of the spring of 23 state assessments, and the components that are included in that grade calculation are what is displayed on the screen. Informational school grades include the achievement data for ELA, mathematics, science, and social studies, acceleration components for middle and high school, and graduation rate. As depicted in this graphic, learning gains calculations were not included in the informational grades due to the transition from FSA to FAST, and last year was the first time the FAST assessment was given to our students. Seminole County Public Schools is the only school district in Central Florida to earn an A. It is ranked second among the 14th largest districts in the state and is tied for 11th amongst all 67 school districts. Please keep in mind when you're looking at the all 67 district ranking, it's very important to remember that in most cases, the districts ranking ahead of us are much different in student populations and demographics than Seminole County Public Schools. 6 of the districts ranked ahead of us have enrollments of under 13,000 students. 3 of those 6 have under 1,300 students in their school district. Seminole County Public Schools is the second largest district represented in the top 11. So grade performance. This slide represents the percentage of test takers who earned a level 3 or above on the state assessments by their instructional level. So for ELA for elementary, that information includes students in grades 3 through 5. For ELA middle school, that's students in grades 6 through 8. And for high school, that's students in grades 9 through 10. For mathematics, the elementary results include students in grades 3 through 5, their FAST assessments, and our Rant 5 students who took the grade 6 FAST assessment as part of their accelerated math program. For middle school, the results reflected on the screen reflect level 3 performance above on the grade 6 through 8 FAST mathematics assessment, Algebra 1, and Geometry EOC results. For high school, this includes our Algebra 1 students, Algebra 1 EOC and Geometry results. Also, please remember that due to SCPS's math acceleration opportunities, in our highest performance mathematics students are not reflected in this data. Many of them exit the state assessment system while still in middle school. So those students don't have an opportunity to participate in a state assessment in high school. For science, we see courses reflections of grades 5 and 8 statewide science assessments that are level 3 and above, and the biology end of course assessments. And for social studies, the middle school civics EOC and the U.S. history EOC are represented. At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Marion Cummings, our Assistant Superintendent of Student and School Success.
Good afternoon, board members, Superintendent Beeman. As you know, I work with the most struggling schools in Seminole County. It's a great opportunity. Thank you, board members and Superintendent Beeman. Just want to share a little bit about our schools and basically how they perform this school year. So I work with Lair, Idlewild, Spring Lake, Pinecrest, and Wicklow. And as you can see from our point change, those schools went up. Grades went up at all 5 of the schools. We have a school that initially started out that was really struggling, working with DOE, that is no longer working with DOE at that level, to that extent. So we're very excited about that, and that was Pinecrest Elementary. We had a school move to an A and another school move to a B. Again, just kind of a reminder that the scale for 22-23 is different. Our FAST test is different. We had a lot of challenges, or as I like to say, opportunities last school year working with schools. As you may recall, we had new benchmarks, we had new curriculum for ELA, we had new curriculum for math, we had new teachers, of course, because that's a new thing, and along with that, new test, not only at this level, but pre-K through 5th grade for us at the elementary level. And again, as you can see from the informational grades, everyone moved up, so we're all making great strides. My principals, my teachers, my coaches are all doing a great job. It is definitely a team effort with all of those opportunities last year. All of the schools worked very hard, and we are very proud of their work. I'd like to thank the board and the superintendent for having the foresight to create the Student and School Success Department to work with these schools. We're very appreciative. The coaches that support this work and support these schools work really hard with the school teams to make sure that students are learning, because at the end of the day, it's really about the students and focusing on excellence and equity for all of our students and all of our schools is what this department is all about, and we're extremely proud of that. So I would like to thank you for the opportunity to serve the students and the community here in Seminole County, as well as my wonderful principals. I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce them. I affectionately call them my fabulous five. And so I'm going to introduce my principals, and I'm going to ask them to stand so you know who they are. Starting off with Lenora Loxton at Idlewild Elementary Future Ready Academy, PYP School. Ms. Loxton. Along with her is her AP, because he can just not be left out. Dr. Erickson, would you please stand? Lindsay Todd, Lair Elementary School. It's my team cheerleader. Dr. Ryan Gard Harrell, Pinecrest Elementary Magnet School of Innovation. Debbie Jose, Spring Lake Elementary School. And Dr. Windish, who joined us, his daughter's performing at Lake Brantley tonight in a dance performance, so he has to definitely be there, but we are happy. Dr. Windish serves as the principal at Wicklow Elementary Magnet School of Global Pathways. Again, thank you to the board, thank you to Mrs. Beeman, and also thank you to my team members. They support me because I tell all of the other departments I have to have priority. HR, facilities, transportation, all of those departments. So thank you so much for your support. It is definitely a team effort, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
All righty.
That was fabulous. And I don't know if you have to leave or not, but thank you so much for everything you do. Dr. Cummings, for everything that you have created as well. And our phenomenal superintendent who had the vision to see this and make it happen. It does take a village, but everybody collaborating together made it happen. And it's just phenomenal. So we appreciate you all and everything that you do day in and day out. We hope you have an amazing holiday break. Get some rest, relax, unwind, and don't think about school. Try not to, please. All right. So, board items for discussion. We have that next. I'm gonna,
Kraus?
yes. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the comments now. Vice Chair?
Thank you very much. So it's been a busy month since we last saw you all. We all attended the Florida School Boards Association conference. Very productive breakout sessions. I think we all learned a lot. We tried to divide and conquer for the events and have the intention to share information from all of that. We also got to recognize the finalists, top 3 teachers of the year, which was a wonderful celebration. I'm trying not to take all of the items, but we surprised them and their families were involved. So that was very exciting. To the cabinet, thank you for hosting the holiday party. It was a lot of fun and we appreciate it. We got to serve lunch and be a part of all of that. And we also held a joint workshop with Seminole State College, which I felt was very productive and goal setting and lots of good back and forth discussion. I'm looking forward to continuing our partnership with Seminole State College. And that's all I have for non-committee.
Thank you. Member Pennick?
Lots of things going on this time of year, a lot of celebrations. Yesterday, we got to do the ribbon cutting at the Castleberry Art Room. If you guys get the chance, please stop in, see it, attend an event there. It is beautiful. They have a really good acoustic system and plan to do some great music and art shows there. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Member Davis?
I just want to thank you all for coming again today. I appreciate it. Every time we look at the holidays, you know, it brings us joy, but it also brings us a lot of stress. And again, we want to remind you that your mental health is important. And if you got to step back from the holidays for a minute, step back for a day. Don't go shopping. Don't go out to visit. Just step back and enjoy your day by yourself. Because we can't do everything, and we can only do what we can. I don't know who said that, but it's my saying now. So I really just hope you have a great holiday and you really give yourself some time to rest, because it is very stressful and there's a lot to do, especially if you have a big family and especially if you have children. Don't forget to make sure that they continue to learn when they're home. You know, every day you can find some math problem, you know, as far as when you're cooking or when you're counting presents or when you're dividing stuff up. Get them involved in that and bring up a math question, or have them read something new and practice their reading, because we can't let that slack during the holidays. But I really do appreciate all of you, and I'm really glad to see you when you come in here, because I learn a lot, and it's good to share our opinions. So again, thank you.
Thank you. Member Garrick?
As my colleagues have said, it has been a busy, busy month. Going back, it's hard to believe that we have not been here since before Thanksgiving. But I just want to say thank you to all of our community partners who made sure that our folks that are in need of food and are struggling had Thanksgiving dinner. There were lots of both faith-based and non-faith-based partners who made that happen. I had the pleasure of being joined by the folks up here for a celebration at Goldsboro, a couple of celebrations, but one is that we received national recognition, Goldsboro Elementary, as the Aerospace Education Program of the year. And for the first time ever, not only was a school recognized for their program, but also there was an education teacher recognized as the Aerospace Education Teacher nationally of the year. So we want to say a big congratulations to all that's going on at Goldsboro. Also, piggybacking off of Member Krause's comment about FSBA, which is the Florida School Board Association's, Florida School Board Association. We had a conference. I want to give a special shout out to Director Minnie Cardona from our ESOL program. She led a fabulous workshop and once again inspires other counties to do the kind of work that we are doing here. So we want to say thank you very much to Director Cardona. Also, Communications Director Sirkovich. She led a phenomenal communications workshop. Gave us all some homework. So if you see us out and about promoting our schools with cards, that is the work of Director Sirkovich. Also at the FSBA, we had state recognition for Kenneth Clark. Kenneth Clark is one of our community partners. He does outstanding work throughout the community, but he's got a program at Hamilton Elementary where he helps provide mentors for young men so that they can have a strong foundation both at home and at school. And I believe, of course, shout out to Red Apple Dining for Thanksgiving and feeding our bus drivers. It was great to be able to be part of that tradition, as well as our holiday party. And if you still have some gifts to buy and you're out and about, please stick something extra in your cart. This year we have more than 2,000 families in need, and our Community Involvement Director, Ms. Mills, is doing a phenomenal job at filling those needs, but the need is greater than ever, and our donations have been a little slim. So she has extended the donation deadline by a couple of days, but if you have any questions at all, you can give her a call directly, and gift cards are always great. It helps her at the last minute. If there are items that haven't been purchased, she can run out and take care of those needs. So thank you.
Thank you. Along that line, Ms. Mills and our community website has a link so you can purchase gift cards and they can be delivered here. Earlier today, I saw a bunch of Amazon packages being delivered. We have about 2,000 families that we know of that are homeless. And it's extremely important that we help and provide for those families, but not just throughout this time of year, but throughout the remainder of the year and throughout always. It's not just the holidays. And there are so many great organizations out there that are doing a lot of help. So I encourage you to help as much as possible if you can. We appreciate that. Allie's Hope report. Tomorrow we have our last meeting on the year of our update of how much money we raised for our schools, for our mental health facilities, and extra support for our students. So I won't have that update until next board meeting. If you go on the state PTA board page, our link is up, and this is a perfect time for students that are maybe possibly wanting to write essays, getting scholarship applications together to check out the different scholarships that are available. The essays are not long, maybe a paragraph or two. There are so many scholarships and money out there that has not been used, and we would love to see our students fill out the paperwork that's needed for these applications. So please check them out over the break. Maybe even make a list for your children at home. The League of Women Voters had their holiday party. I know we weren't able to attend, but they have been doing so many different events that have been really beneficial for our community. If you haven't had an opportunity to check out what the League of Women Voters do, please check out their website, get involved. There are many of us serve on different committees, and we have a lot of employees that also, past employees and current employees that serve on committees as well. It's a great organization, great way to know what's going on, especially with legislative updates. You know, session is getting ready to start, or has started, with different committees already meeting, and check out the bills that are going through. Things change minute by minute, but it's really important for you to know what's going on with our school system and what we are needing and what we don't have. And I'll leave the rest up to you, because I don't want it to become, because I believe everybody should have whatever education they want. But I definitely want our public schools not to suffer. My coalition report, my last meeting for Central Florida School Board Coalition as chair was at FSBA, Florida School Board Association Conference. Was able to hand it over to Ms. Felder over at Orange County Public Schools, so she will be our new chair. Katie Campbell will be vice chair from Alachua County, and they will represent the 14 districts that I did last year. And those meetings that we have on a monthly spaces are public. You can get on any of the Zoom calls, and we have legislative updates from our legislative advocate from our Florida School Board Association. I encourage you to participate and learn about the different ways to get involved and help our county as well as our state. And along the same line that Member Garrick said, the Giving Tree, Miss Mills and your team have been amazing. I wouldn't be surprised if they're over there right now still working. They have been getting here at the crack of dawn, and they have not stopped. And all this is for our children to make sure that they have a nice holiday and that they receive what they need. I know times are tough for a lot of families, and it's important to remember seasonal depression is real. And please keep a lookout for your loved ones, your family, your friends, and make sure that you check in on each other because it's extremely important. We are extremely proud of our A-rated district, and like I said, the foresight of our superintendent and cabinet, amazing. We appreciate you so much. We really do. And you have done an amazing job. So thank you. And for that, that's my end of my report. And we'll go ahead, and I also have tonight where I still need a committee member to serve on the ITN for temperature monitoring service systems. Member Davis, are you still interested? Yes. Perfect, that would be wonderful. So Member Davis, thank you so much for serving on that committee. Member Davis will be on the ITN temperature monitoring system. Now at this time, we will have our public comments, agenda items, and I'm going to have Vice Chair Kraus go ahead and read the statement. Thank you.
Policy 0169.1, public participation at board meetings. The purpose of the public participation segments of the board meeting is to allow the public to address matters within the board's jurisdiction and not to resolve individual grievances or disputes. Public comments related to education, the board agenda, and the district are welcome and encouraged. But public comment segments are not forums to engage in personal attacks against school system employees or board members. To maintain orderly conduct, the public comment segments of the meeting may not be used as open forums to discuss matters unrelated to education, to support or oppose candidates for public office, including presentation of political and or campaign issues, announcing candidacy and or campaigning, or to engage in commercial speech attempting to sell a service or product to the board or the public. Nor are they forums to address matters involving disciplinary actions of any kind, pending claims, complaints, or litigation against the district or district personnel. Public comment segments durations are as follows. Agenda items limited to 3 minutes. One group representative speaking on a proposition, a maximum of 6 minutes. The speaker must remain on topic for agenda item proposition. Non-agenda items limited to 2 minutes. Speakers shall direct their comments only to the board and may not address the audience or other speakers. No speaker may yield his or her time to any other person. Generally, substitutions of speakers will not be allowed. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have one for tonight, and that would be Nina Sandberg. Thank you.
I'm Nina Sandberg. True story regarding textbooks, science textbooks. When my daughter was in 4th grade at Rainbow Elementary, Walt Griffin and our school board failed to provide any textbooks of any kind in any format for my daughter's science class. Griffin and the board failed to provide any paper textbooks, online textbooks, or newspaper textbooks. There was almost no written science work of any kind. There was no reading or writing across the curriculum in science either. There were no science study guides. There was no science vocabulary study. There were no science worksheets or activity sheets. There were no science quizzes or tests. There were no science research reports. And there was no science fair either. Science was taught by the teacher lecturing the students from the front of the class and occasionally presenting a video or doing a science experiment himself in front of the class. My daughter missed 2 weeks of school while she had a serious virus. I repeatedly asked for her science makeup work and was given nothing. After many requests, her teacher told me that the science unit was about sound, and he told me to go Google it and make my own science unit about sound up using Google. I filed the necessary complaints to the principal and got nowhere. For 3 entire quarters, this idiocracy went on, and no one did anything about securing science textbooks or a proper science curriculum for my daughter's class. During the last quarter, which was the pandemic, my daughter's teacher was permitted to abandon the Florida State standards and the proper 4th grade science curriculum entirely to do nothing but 3rd grade moronic brain pop lessons for the entire quarter. 4th grade science was replaced by moronic dumbed down 3rd grade brain pop. My daughter lost an entire year of proper science instruction inside of SCPS because Walt Griffin and her school board could not be bothered to purchase proper instructional textbook materials for her class. During the pandemic, I took over and did studies weekly and science with supplements according to the Florida State standards with my daughter instead of brain pop. My daughter was given an F by SCPS for doing Florida's actual 4th grade curriculum instead of doing 3rd grade brain pop. Here's the work. There's an F in Skyward for all this work. That's the truth. My daughter's grade still needs to be corrected in Skyward. Fix her grade already and buy science textbooks. Always buy textbooks.
Thank you. All right, for consent agenda, for clarification, Member Garrick, I know that you had brought up agenda for 6D.
Yes, Chair. I was hoping to have some discussion.
Okay, let's go ahead.
So,
Discussion.
when we were at
Consent, is there?
It was my understanding, Member Garrick, that you pulled this for separate consideration. So did you pull this off the consent agenda for separate consideration? Or is this just a topic you want to discuss before you vote on the whole consent agenda?
I wanted to hold it for separate consideration,
Okay,
so to
then
vote
we're
on
gonna address
everything
the
without
consent agenda
this.
first, and then once we
Okay,
do the
then
consent
we can
agenda
do
votes,
that.
then we'll talk about,
Perfect. Okay, then I will go
Thank you.
ahead and, sorry about that, Member Garrick. Superintendent, do you have any recommendations or would like consent agenda to be approved as presented?
Yes, that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion. Second.
Okay, who made the motion? Member Davis and Member Pennick seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Now we have quite a few. Right,
Point of order,
go ahead.
separate item.
Separate item?
Right.
Now we're ready.
The item that was pulled for separate consideration is in the 6D, and the recommendation is that the School Board of Seminole County approve the attendance of one school board member to the Florida School Boards Association's 37th Annual Day in the Legislature.
All right, go ahead, Member Garrick.
Well, first of all, I wanted to say thank you to my colleagues for their interest in wanting to go to Tallahassee and advocate for our schools and for our for legislation that would positively impact our district. At the FSBA conference, it was my understanding that both Member Sanchez and Member Pennick were planning on going to this event. Did you?
I'm not going.
Okay, then that was a misunderstanding, but I did not think it was, I don't think it's a fiscally responsible use of our funds. Last year I had the opportunity to go early at the FSBA new member conference part 2. And so I went up early and I sat in on the legislative days that were already in session, and what I determined was that there was very little opportunity to speak with our legislators. In fact, as public comments, as more people became interested in the topics, public comments were cut down from 2 minutes to 15 seconds. So I would think it would be a much better use of our time and of our funds to work with our legislators here in Central Florida. By all means, if we want to go up and be part of that process, I know that there are several groups going. We've got the League of Women Voters Education Committee is going up to speak on behalf of our schools, and several other groups. So I'm just looking at $1,500 for one person to go is probably not the best use of our funds, especially as we're moving forward, losing ESSER funds within a few months. And then I was looking through the book, very excited to just approve our new school counselor plan. But one of the things that I noticed is a recommendation for professional development for our school counselors is attendance at the Florida Counselor Association conference, which is $100 for attendance. So I feel like for that same almost $1,500, we could send 15 of our counselors to this conference. So I just think as we're looking ahead, as far as advocacy, we've got professionals to do it. We've spent, time and money with both membership with FSBA, and as well for Allie to go up and lobby for things that directly will impact Seminole County. So I would encourage members to vote no on this particular expenditure. And again, if we want to go up on our own, I would absolutely encourage everyone, but I would appreciate if we took the opportunity to make the most of our local meetings with the local delegation, as well as writing letters to the folks that are sponsoring the bills that most impact us.
I like to talk about this. I've been going every single year for 8 years, even longer than that. The session that you all went to for new member is not going to be held anymore. I understand what you all went to really wasn't what it really should have been. So you really didn't get to see the whole picture. When I lived in Tallahassee for 15 years and worked in the Capitol, it is an opportunity to really not, because I met with all of our legislators here beforehand. And then when you get there, that's when you have an opportunity to visit everybody else. So Dr. Thomas and I, as well as the other legislators, school board members from other districts, we would then go from floor to floor. Then we would go into the chamber, go into the galley, and make sure that we were listening to the different committees. And we would pull different bills and then look at all those different bills and find different ones. I also had separate meetings with Allie at that same time, which is our lobbyist, and she would direct me on where to go. I'm assuming that Member Pennick has probably already discussed that with our lobbyist as well, of who they need to contact and who they need to meet with, because it's not just our legislators that we need to be speaking to. We need to speak to all of them. And for example, I had an opportunity to speak to Representative Anna Escamani, who of course was on the same page as me, because I wanted the money to follow the children, and nobody was listening in Tallahassee. As far as I'm concerned, it was almost like a gag order, and I know I hate to say that, but I truly believe it was a mayhem of a mess, and I believe that we need to have our voices heard, and that somebody needs to be there to represent Seminole County.
When I was scheduled to go with the chamber, I paid myself. Did you pay for the past 8 years? I don't recall approving.
Did I pay myself? Can't remember.
As the bookkeeper for the last 12 years, we have sent many board members to Tallahassee for FSBA Day in the Legislature, whether it be the chair or the new board members in conjunction with their new board member training part 2.
My apologies to this board for perhaps not making this action item clearer. The initial intent and the reason that Member Pennick is going to Tallahassee is because she represents this board on the Advocacy Committee, and the Advocacy Committee is meeting during the day in the legislature. So she needs to go either way because she represents this board on the Advocacy Committee. She's going to be up there during the day in the legislature, which is why this is couched as a day in the legislature, because it's with the FSBA Advocacy Committee. So my apologies for not making that the ask and the not ensuring the clarity of this action item. But over the years, we have paid for many board members to attend the day in the legislature, both travel expenses, hotel, and conference registration.
I know that I stayed an extra 2 days, but I paid for those 2 extra days myself because those were above and beyond of something that I wanted to do up there. And I paid for my own gas, my own food, but that's just something that I tend to do. Not everybody does that. Different school boards do different things. So, but especially with her being on the advocacy committee with Florida School Board Association, it would be something that she needs to be at. So I guess we need to take a vote on this unless Member Pennick, you would like to speak? Or anybody else would like to speak?
Well, I think that it's important. We have a lot of bills that are proposed right now for deregulation that affect not only SCPS, but all of the state of Florida. And as part of the advocacy committee, we don't just advocate to our local delegation. We need to advocate to the entire state delegation. It's not in our best interest just to talk to our local representatives. They're not the only ones that vote. Every single one of them need to vote, and every single one of them need to hear our voice. And if Seminole County isn't at the table, which we have not been in the past, we lose out. And we have heard many times, and we have heard through our FSBA lobbyists, that Tallahassee is really watching who's advocating and who's not advocating, who's reaching out to the local delegations, the state delegations. And I do not want our district to be hurt because we are not at the table. So I will be there if this board feels that it is something that needs to be personally paid, and that's a precedent that we want to set for future boards. I would caution you on that, but I will be going. And I am staying an extra day on my dollar, and that was clear in the registration as well.
Thank you. It was, oh, I beg your pardon.
I haven't even had a chance to go. Last year, when we were going up for the new member second part for the FSBA, we didn't select to go to the day in the legislature because we were already paying for the second part of the FSBA. I didn't know that you went last year.
I did. I took the opportunity since I looked at the gap in the schedule, looked at what was going on that pertained to school policy, and went in and sat in on presentations and on discussion. I just want to say thank you to the clerk. That was clarification. It was my understanding, since we didn't last year, since the legislative days were at the same time as the conference, it was my understanding that this was a new precedent we were setting, so I didn't, that concerned me. I would like to ask, based on your recommendation, and thank you very much for serving on the advocacy committee. Based on your recommendation, I did write to the originators of the bills that are for deregulation, as advised by the committee and by Dr. Thomas. I will say I was frustrated that I didn't even get a courtesy email that they had received my letter, which usually you get if you write, usually an aide will write that they thank you for your interest. Did anybody here follow that recommendation? And did we get any other response?
I did not get a confirmation, but I did send one in for the dereg as well.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll check.
I reached out to numerous state legislatures, not just locally. I don't expect a response back there in session. They're busy.
It's been my experience when when I did the ones for the originators of the bill through their website, or through the form, that I have received a courtesy, just, we've received and noticed. So I appreciate hearing your experience, and I appreciate you writing them. Based on that, I would love for you to go and advocate for us. I would appreciate all details that you can provide, and if there are any actionable items that we can take as a board and follow up that we can have with our local delegation, I would greatly appreciate that, because I feel like they're making the laws and we're charged with implementing them, and so it's important that we have a seat at the table. So thank you for your explanation, and with that, I'm happy to.
Vice Chair Kraus?
Thank you. I just had one more comment. Thank you for the clarification to our clerk. I don't know if it's appropriate, but if it is appropriate, to invite any other board members that may want to participate too. I appreciate that you're going, and I agree, a seat at the table is needed for Seminole County.
It was open to everybody. Everybody should have received the email from Florida School Board Association. It was in the email.
I'm asking about this, though, to support anyone else that may want to go.
To go to a...
Right, to go and
Yes.
have it paid for. Yeah. I don't know if anyone, I am
That's
not
fine.
able to go, but I'm just.
I would love to go, but I don't know if we registered yet.
Yeah, you have to register for this one early. But
So
you
do we
wanna-
keep that open, that if they, in the next week or so, that it's approved? I don't know how we do this.
Well, Chair Sanchez, if you amend the recommendation or the request to pay for any members that would
additional?
like to attend, if available, then that would cover. So we would just have to do an amendment of some sort, is what I'm thinking, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, it's been removed from consent, so at this point, it would require a motion,
Amendment.
an affirmative motion and a second, and then a vote. So you could, whoever wants to make the motion could make it as Ms.
Okay.
Authorize other members.
Go ahead, Member Kraus.
I still do have concern, though, as far as the fiscal nature. If we deem that one school board member is going, and I agree, I did not understand that it was open. I thought it was something that we were going on our own dime. I knew that we were told at FSBA that there was not a block of rooms and we would have to secure our own rooms. And so I didn't understand that, like I said, that the invitation was open to everyone. That's up to you all, but I do, going into what's going to be probably a very lean year, I just do have concerns about additional resources being spent in this way. That's, Jill, can you correct me? Are there other FSB conferences in the spring, and are they local?
So yes, you always have the summer FSBA conference in Tampa, and then you also have the winter, but that'll be the next fiscal year.
But there'll be nothing, this is the only thing for the spring, but between now and
That
June?
I'm aware of, yes.
Okay.
So this and then the June conference.
And I would like to make a motion that the school board approve attendance for any number of school board members.
So we're going to make amendment for it.
No, it's a
Amend it.
new motion,
Okay,
because we
new
pulled
motion
it.
first, since we pulled it.
I'm not sure I'm wording this correctly, that any member that is able to attend the Florida School Boards Association 37th Annual Day in the Legislature, that we approve their participation and funding.
Anyone like to second that
Second.
motion?
Second.
All right, Member Pennick. All in favor, say aye.
Discussion first.
Oh, discussion first. Anybody else want discussion? I feel like we've had this discussion. But go ahead.
If I could possibly, just for point of clarification, I mean, obviously, the reimbursement of expenses would need to be in conformance with what's allowed under state and FDOA. I assume the motion that's implied in the motion maker's motion, but.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
I would like to go because I've never been, and I want to start advocating with the legislature. And even if I have to hand them personally a letter because I didn't get to be on the list to speak, I would like to do that. Be ready for it.
And just keep in mind, I know a lot of the rooms are already sold out, so you may have to, if you do go, keep that in mind. If it does pass, that you may have to stay off of 319 Thomasville Road, different areas.
Or
I lived-
an Airbnb.
I only lived there for 15 years, so there's plenty of places, but yeah. Member Garrick, do you have a comment or anything else to say?
I do not.
Okay. All right.
Ready for a vote.
All right. All in favor of Member Pennick and Member Davis attending the, no, well, okay, so help me with this one.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
The motion
It's different.
for that Member Kraus stated, which was seconded, now that you've all had discussion, it is that motion that is up for a vote.
Okay, let's,
All in favor.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. And we're done
We're good.
with that one. Perfect. Sorry for the confusion. We haven't had one in a while, so I'm glad for the clarification on it. Thank you, Jill. All right, so now we have our superintendent. Do you have any recommendations on student discipline?
Yes, I do. That the School Board of Seminole County approve the student disciplinary recommendations from 11/6/2023 and 11/27/2023.
Motion.
Member
Second.
All right, Member Pennick, Member Davis, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Any unfinished business? Let me see. Superintendent, do you have any recommendations?
Yes, that the chairman assign school board members to serve on various committees, groups, agencies, boards.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second? All right, Dave,
Discussion.
okay, discussion?
Thank you. I took it upon myself. I was assigned an additional committee that formerly Member Davis participated in. It was the Children's Cabinet, which is a virtual meeting except for 2 times a year. They have a workshop at Sanford Mall once in the summer, or towards the summer, and then a meeting in January that they are looking for a place. They don't even have a place yet to have the meeting. I already have 7 committees. Not all are school board. There are 3 that are not school board related.
3 school board ones, and then the rest are non-school
Well,
board
actually
related.
4. The Energy Committee disappeared somehow off of our list.
It's not a committee.
The Energy, it was in the past.
You all voted to remove that as one of your committee assignments about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. So it wasn't appointed last year either.
I thought that's in part why we brought up the train contract. No. Okay. Okay, well, so still, I have a lot of committees, and I called the current chair of the Children's Cabinet and asked, and she said she is fine as long as someone from the school board represents us.
And that's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Anybody that has a committee and that they cannot attend a meeting, please ask one of your fellow school board members and to see if we would do it. I would be more than happy to help. Member Davis, I'm sure you guys could even rotate possibly.
Carlene goes to the meetings as well.
Right,
She's
okay,
part of the
but like
committee.
as a school board member, would you be willing to rotate with her monthly? All right, perfect. Would that help you out?
That's very
That would
helpful. Thank you.
And if there's a day that you can't or any of you need, we are all here for each other. That's what a team is all about. We all need to step up, and if you
And
can't
they-
serve on one, I mean, there's been
They're
times that I
virtual.
haven't been able to and somebody else has been able to do it for me, and I appreciate it. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, so since that discussion is over with, all in favor?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second?
We already had a motion.
Got a motion
Okay,
and
so now it's all in favor.
Okay, thank you.
I had discussion.
You
I
did
guess
too,
is
I'm
that-
sorry.
Is that
Go ahead.
too late?
No, it's
Sorry.
not. I didn't know you had one too.
That's all right. No, my discussion was just that we, at the Business Advisory Board, which has had great success
And I wanted-
with recent direction, meets at the same time as one of my community committees, and so for a year I have not been able to attend. So I would love to be able to, again, I don't know if we can rotate or
do
what
that.
we can do, but so that I can occasionally show up
It'd be
for
completely
the
okay.
other board that I
I
belong
try to
to.
keep everybody on the boards that they wanted to stay on, so I kept you on those 2 boards that you requested to stay on.
And I appreciate, and you added me to the Central Florida School Board Coalition, which is great.
Because you're
again,
always on those calls with me, so I think it would be great for you to continue that.
absolutely, and as Member Pennick said, it's not just about what's happening in our district.
Exactly.
But beyond, and the way that we can work together, best practices from other districts as well.
Exactly.
So, thank you.
Yes, and any of us can rotate, which would be great, but with Business Advisory Board doing so well, and you all are now back on track, I really would like to see you stay on that committee.
Sure, especially if I know that I can
You know what
occasionally
you-
phone a friend.
Exactly.
So, thanks.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, motion passes. Thank you. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
Yes, that the School Board of Seminole County take such action as is required by Section 4 CSHB 909, amending Section 194.015 Florida statutes for providing for membership of the Seminole County Value Adjustment Board by electing a school board member alternate, and appointing a qualified citizen as members of the VAB for 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Any opposed?
Discussion.
All right, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
Yes, that the School Board of Seminole County adopt the instructional materials recommendations of the Science Adoption Committee for K-5 Science and authorize the superintendent to purchase the highest ranked committee choice that also appears on the 23-24 Florida DOE Science Instructional Materials Adoption List, current at the time of purchase.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
Yes, that the School Board of Seminole County adopt the instructional materials recommendations of the Science Adoption Committee for Comprehensive Science and authorize the superintendent to purchase the highest ranked committee choice that also appears on the 23-24 Florida DOE Science Instructional Materials Adoption List, current at the time of purchase.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
All right, Member Pennick, Member Davis. Is there a discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
Yes, I do. That the School Board of Seminole County adopt the instructional materials recommendations of the Science Adoption Committee for Earth Space Science and authorize the superintendent to purchase the highest ranked committee choice that also appears on the 23-24 Florida DOE Science Instructional Materials Adoption List, current at the time of purchase.
Motion to approve.
All right.
Second.
Vice Chair made a motion, second by Member Garrick. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
I do. And it is that the School Board of Seminole County adopt the instructional materials recommendations of the Science Adoption Committee for Environmental Science and authorize the superintendent to purchase the highest ranked committee choice that also appears on the 23-24 Florida DOE Science Instructional Materials Adoption List, current at the time of purchase.
Motion.
Second.
All right. Motion and a second. I think it's kind of a tie between Member Garrick and Vice Chair Kraus.
Not me.
Or Member Kraus and Member Pennick. Motion. Perfect. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
I do.
All right.
And it is that the School Board of Seminole County adopt the instructional materials recommendations of the Science Adoption Committee for Biology and authorize the superintendent to purchase the highest ranked committee choice that also appears on the 23-24 Florida DOE Science Instructional Materials Adoption List current at the time of purchase.
So moved.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Perfect. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? No. Motion passes. All right. I believe this is the last one. Go. No, we have two more.
Two more. Dr. Scanlon and her team have been hard at work.
They sure have been. I will let you know this is because the DOE finally gave us some money to do this. So go.
And the recommendation, board members, is that the School Board of Seminole County adopt the instructional materials recommendations of the Science Adoption Committee for Chemistry and authorize the superintendent to purchase the highest ranked committee choice that also appears on the 23-24 Florida DOE Science Instructional Materials Adoption List current at the time of purchase.
Motion.
Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. Motion passes. Last one, Superintendent. Do you have a
one,
recommendation?
That the School Board of Seminole County adopt the instructional materials recommendations of the Science Adoption Committee for Anatomy and Physiology and authorize the superintendent to purchase the highest ranked committee choice that also appears on the 23-24 Florida DOE Science Instructional Materials Adoption List current at the time of purchase.
So moved.
All right. Thank you,
Second.
Member Garrick and Member Davis. Any discussion? All right. All in favor say aye.
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 All right. Motion passes. Thank you. Whew.
Yes.
Finally, let me let you know, we don't get the money from DOE. We can't do these things. For example, social studies, which I had a big problem with last year because I was working in a book for 26 years that was from 2001 that the state did not adopt, did not give us a new book until last year. So finally, new science books, and we just received new social studies books, but we can't get that money. We don't have that money. It comes from the state. So I know that you had stated that as well. I have stated, it's important for people to realize that it just doesn't come from us. We have to get that money. All right. Next, we have Superintendent's report.
And board members, my report is read-only. There's a number of items in the book. I would like to also say that we asked our community to help us with the Giving Tree program because we have, as you all stated, 2,000 students and families that we would like to serve. And as of last week, had about enough for 300 to 400. And I want you all to know that our community has come through in a huge way. And we are still in need and we are still accepting, but our media partners, law enforcement partners, HCA, Florida, Advent Health, they have all stepped up and we are now in a position where we can provide for about 1,500 of the 2,000. That is our original goal. So want to thank our community for helping us, and we do still have opportunity, but just last week we were in a much different place than we are today. So wanted to share that.
Thank you.
And how many bikes? There were so many.
I have no idea. You're right. There were just so many bikes that came in.
We need more. Okay.
We need more. Okay.
Okay.
We still need more. So just
All
wanted
right.
to let you all know. And
Thank
that is
you.
my report. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Board committee comments. I'll do Vice Chair Kraus first.
Thank you very much. I was able to attend on behalf of Member Garrick. The Business Advisory hosted a Lyman Business Connection with business partners, and we were able to show off that beautiful facility and all of the technology that is there, the building areas, I'm not very good at this. We saw welding. We got to practice welding. Some of us are never going to be welders, but it was it was a great experience, and I was grateful to be able to do that. We also, I have the Science Center meeting next week, and on behalf of the superintendent, I was invited to the Superintendent Circle event through the foundation. They hosted at Markham Woods, and we learned all about biomechatronics, which I didn't know about. You should Google that word if you get the opportunity. But these students are using 3D printers and making body parts replacement. They're just amazing. They're working collaboratively, solving problems, and I was grateful to be a part of that. Please mark your calendars for March 25th, 2024, Golf for Education. Amy, I know you're a golfer. They have sold out half of their sponsorships already. March 25th, 2024, Golf for Education. And that concludes my, right, the foundation. That concludes my committee reports. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Pennick?
I have had no committee meetings. My audit committee meets this Friday. You guys got the recap from this year, so I will send the minutes once that meeting is complete.
Fabulous. Thank you. Member Davis?
I've had no meetings. We're trying to figure out when the meetings are for the Community Alliance. I'm not sure who did that committee last time, so we can talk later about the.
Yeah, I'll send you the minutes from, I thought I forwarded them, but I'll send them to you.
Thank you.
Yes, it's at the sheriff's office, and it's hard to find, just telling you.
Okay.
All right, Member Garrick.
Thank you to Vice Chair Kraus, who was there for the inaugural breakfast for Business Advisory Board. Speaking of community partners and businesses, I was pleased to support the Oh Baby drive-through event, which was at the Midway Safe Harbor Center. Those of you that know me know that I am very passionate about particularly early literacy and making sure that we take care of our littlest learners. And while SCPS is charged with taking care of kids and giving them opportunities starting at age 4, there's a lot of learning that happens between birth and 4. So this was an event. Let's see. I hope I get all the partners. This was a Midway Coalition, Advent Health, Healthy Start, True Health, Advent Health, and Kids Breakthrough. Came together, gave out board books and educational toys to our little ones. I did not make it, but at the Velma Williams Center, the meeting of Sanford leaders once again did a phenomenal job providing food in conjunction with picnic project for Thanksgiving. And there also will be at the Velma Williams Center a huge party for families in need, for students. Santa will be there. It will be also, I see our community leader out there, Mr. Bentley, nodding his head. All sorts of great things happening up there for our families in need. Mr. Bentley, correct me, is it this Saturday, or I mean this Thursday, that party, or is it a week from Thursday? So that is the 20th? 21st. Thank you. So the 21st. If you have any questions, call the Velma Williams Center in Sanford or Mr. Bentley.
Yes. And my report, I did a little bit on the coalition. Zoo, the Asian Lantern Festival is in gear. I know quite a few people have purchased tickets from me. There's no blackout dates from the ones that I was able to get through being on the board of trustees with that board. But if you go online, a lot of the dates have already sold out. So you need to look and see what dates are available. It is a phenomenal evening. If you haven't had a chance to check out the Zoo Asian Lantern Festival, we have new exhibits there. You have to take a look at it. Also, they do have some programs, and I don't know if they have any openings for the holiday, for the 2 weeks that we're off, but it's always worth checking it out, where they do some programs during the day that are led by certified teachers that will have activities, hands-on activities with the animals. Yes, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And there are so many other different camps going on right now as well that you could check out and see. And the other thing I wanted to mention was the FAFSA forms are starting to come in earlier and earlier now. There's some updates on it. And it was something that we talked about at the Seminole State Joint Work Session or Workshop. Some high schools do it together in a lab setting or do it at night. There are many opportunities. Reach out to your school, reach out to your school counselors, see if they have coffee with the counselors, see if they're having an evening to fill out the FAFSA forms. FAFSA forms are not just for financial aid need. There are availability for keeping up with the scholarships as well that you are applying for. And like I said, there are millions and millions of dollars worth of scholarships every single year that nobody applies for. And they're super easy to fill out. So do that. And then I wanted to also take this opportunity to say, I'm going to give everybody a challenge. At least one day over the break, if your whole family could put their cell phones or any kind of social media, iPad, anything, put it in a drawer, lock it up, turn it off, and just spend time with your family. It is so critical. This social media is getting out of control. And I think everybody realizes that. And the average person, if you notice, our age times 2 is the maximum time you can sit still in one given task before you lose focus. Here comes the teacher in me. So 20 minutes before you start looking at your cell phone or checking out what you need to do. A child needs to see something 144 times before they truly know it and can retain it in a long-term memory bank. Well, put the cell phones down, let them have some critical thinking skills, go to some great sites like Dogo News, DOGO News.com, where it's integrated activities that are enrichment, where they're learning current events from all over the world, and open-ended questions and discussions, table talk. Dinner time is one of the most critical times of the day. So on that note, I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday. Enjoy your break. Please stay safe, happy, and healthy. I'd like to thank all of our staff, our bus drivers, our employees, our amazing cabinet, phenomenal superintendent, deputy superintendent, everybody that we have that work day in and day out. And also, this is another very important thing. A lot of times our emails over the break, we may not see things immediately. It's important. Yeah, well, yes, except for Autumn. They picked up one at 4 o'clock in the morning while we were at a conference. And I was sleeping at that point. And anyhow, if you could make sure people in the community know if there's something that they see something, say something, reach out to the 1-800 Speak Out hotline and or the 689 number, the federal number, the 211 number. There's so many different numbers that we have now. Reach out. These are extremely critical numbers to do immediately. Or call the sheriff's station. When in doubt, pick up the phone. All right? Thank you. Have a wonderful holiday. And now I have a couple last minute of our public comments, non-agenda items. First one, Deborah Donahue. Next on deck will be Nina Sandberg.
Good evening, board members and
Good evening.
superintendent. I just wanted to recognize that you are one of only 2 A-rated districts in the Central Florida region, and that's because of the tremendous leadership of both the board and the superintendent. You all have endured public attacks. You guys have endured attacks on public education, knowing what's coming down the pipe with the funding. And I just wanted to say thank you. This district is successful because of the tremendous leadership.
Thank you. Ms. Sandberg. Next, after Nina, is Raquel Molina. After Raquel will be Fiona Shannon, and then Thomas. I just call him TJ. I'm sorry, I'm just so used to calling you TJ.
I'm Nina Sandberg. Never again is our slogan. Woke left-wing college professors have been teaching our nation's college students vitriolic anti-Semitic hatred against Jews in Israel. I have known that the woke movement is a nationwide hate movement that is more dangerous than the Ku Klux Klan since the summer of 2020. Notice that the woke movement supports the cancel culture and the fake woke virtue signaling culture. Notice that the woke movement promotes new forms of racism, bigotry, prejudice, sexism, anti-Semitism, hatred for Christians, and vitriolic hatred for all kinds of people and things. Every week, the woke movement adds a new person or group or thing to its vast hate list and cancel culture list. Elon Musk calls the woke movement a mind virus. Woke is responsible for most of the division and hatred in our country. I have been actively promoting education instead of woke indoctrination because I understand that there is nothing that is actually woke about the woke mob. Notice that the woke mob always supports terrorists and terrorism. They have supported Antifa, BLM, CHOP, Hamas, Hezbollah, etc. The woke movement is a violent, vitriolic hate movement which victimizes and terrorizes innocent civilians and which also targets innocent people for vitriolic hatred based upon their race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, religion, political party affiliation, etc. The fake woke mob also supports Marxism, communism, fascism, socialism, etc. There are legitimate reasons why parents have been fighting against the woke indoctrination of their children in public schools. Please abandon your mission of pushing woke indoctrination inside of SCPS. Also, as a Jewish American, I'm asking for more Holocaust instruction and for you to teach the Diary of Anne Frank again. Thank you.
Melina?
Good evening. My name is Raquel Molina. I'm so disappointed every time I hear you guys say Seminole County Public Schools an 8-rated academic school district. Really? If it was years ago, not anymore. Now it's all about money and power. Money and power. It's not about our children's best interest, unfortunately. 8-rated, not anymore. May I request that the school board members and superintendent draft a proposal and adopt a policy related to witness statements or incident reports. Unfortunately, there's no policy in place for written statements made by teachers that are asked to make a statement by administration and parents. Per Seminole County Public School Coordinator of HR and District Equity Administrator, there is no such policy currently in place. The policy should state that the principal is responsible for prompt recording and writing for witness statements to be signed, dated, and notarized. Last request, but not least, please, board members and superintendent, discuss a pilot program proposal to install cameras in special education classroom. Please, 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 I'm still begging and I will continue begging for this request. I'll send my request to you guys via email as well. Thank you and happy holidays.
Thank you. Fiona Shannon?
Good evening. I came tonight to thank the school board and the superintendent because most of us, well, first of all, I just want, as we head into break, I want to thank you all for the work you all do to keep our schools at the top of the state. As we heard tonight from the presentation, facts matter, and the facts are we're an A-rated school district. No matter what else you say, that's the facts. We all can, pull out individual stories. It has been a difficult year for so many, especially those students who have found themselves unhoused and those in temporary housing, as we thank the school for getting gifts and putting gifts together, because I'm a Boys and Girls Club volunteer, and I also understand the need. And I know my children have way more than they need, and if all of us just buy one gift or two gifts, then you can make a difference. And it has also been beyond challenging for those who identify as LGBTQ. There have been restrictions put on education in our state by those who have never been in a classroom, and this has been detrimental to many of our students, particularly our Black and brown students. Despite the attacks we hear from the same handful of parents, Seminole County continues to be recognized for its excellence. I thank you all for your leadership and hope you get a much-needed break and happy holidays.
Thank you. Thomas? Lucas?
Good evening, School Board, Superintendent Beeman. My name is Thomas Joe Bugas II, and I am a Seminole County resident and an employee of Seminole County Public Schools. And once again, it's this time of year when the Seminole County Public Schools are given an absolutely incredible gift by their employees, especially on the back of their employees. Employees have excelled at their job despite the fact that they are constantly being asked to do more and more with less and less. The first presentation about the 25 school nurses training the 4,000 teachers to attend to the medical needs of their students makes that point very clear. Our teachers are being asked, and other employees are being asked to do extreme jobs that they were never done before. The second presentation about this A+ school districts and how wonderful it is that we have achieved that, and I absolutely agree that it is an absolute wonderful achievement to see that not a single school in Seminole County has lower than a C grade, and many schools excelled, some of them 2 grade letters, and those that even achieved the same grade letter, absolute accomplishment from your employees. And it should be noted that your employees are facing financial despair. They're fatigued, they're burned out. They are making this effort even harder on, we are making this effort even harder on them, yet they are still excelling year after year. And we have to do something. We absolutely have to. We have to honor these employees and recognize what they're doing. We recognize 5 principles, nothing to take away from their achievements. One of the principles just started this year. Did they really achieve the grade that that school did? No, it was the teachers, the employees, the custodians, the bus drivers that got those students there. And we need to make sure that we are honoring all employees. It is not the top that is achieving these goals. It is the ones at the very bottom, the ones that are working the hardest for the less pay. And we have to start honoring them. So on this holiday season, I hope that you take the time to think about how these employees are feeling. And I do appreciate it. Thank you. Have a happy holiday.
Thank you so much. All right. With there being no further business, enjoy your holiday. Everybody, drive safely, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.